I thought I had some pretty spicy takes of my own regarding Animal Crossing, but after reading what y'all have to say, I think I'm pretty tame. I asked y'all on both Instagram and Twitter to send me your most unpopular opinions regarding Animal Crossing New Horizons, and boy oh boy did y'all deliver. When I was first going through the responses, I noticed that there were almost like 3 buckets that everyone's complaints seemed to fall into. The first being in regards to the Animal Crossing updates, or now lack thereof. The second being regarding the existing gameplay, and then the third being just some vast opinions about the NPCs and villagers in the game. Now, let me remind you, I did ask for unpopular opinions, so I did try to be picky and really filter through these for what I feel is truly unpopular, because a lot of people shared this exact sentiment, which I'm going to show on the screen. Yes, we're technically starting this video with a popular opinion, but the context makes sense, I promise you. This first one is from Pat, aka Nintendo Talk here on YouTube. I'm sure you guys are already familiar with him and his channel. Pat says the entire 2.0 update and Happy Home DLC should not have come out all at once. It should have continued as monthly updates, with the Happy Home DLC launching in summer of 22. Now, the reason that I'm saying this is a popular opinion is because so many people liked this tweet, so many people replied saying they agreed with it. I personally agree with the same sentiment. I think the game would have had so much more longevity if they spaced out those updates as opposed to just bombarding us with them all at once. It's like eating a giant chocolate cake and then having a stomachache afterwards. That's the similar feeling a lot of us had to the 2.0 and Happy Home Paradise DLC update. It was like too much sweetness at once. And then Chase Crossing, another amazing Animal Crossing YouTuber, replied to this conversation as well. Here's what I think happened. It was going to happen that way, but people were crying and talking about 2.0. I remember this very, very clearly. Nintendo decided to give it all at once and call it 2.0 like the community was asking. We literally asked for this. And I wanted to share these first because they are pretty shared opinions throughout at least the Animal Crossing creator space, but it seemed a lot of you guys on Twitter agreed. So whether popular or unpopular, I think we can all agree that much content all at once was pretty overwhelming, and it ended up really contributing to a lot of our burnouts. Whereas if you did space out those updates, of course, it breathes new life into the game every few months. So with all of that said, let's get into the first chunk about whether Animal Crossing is a good game, whether it's a complete game, whether it deserves more updates or not. The first being, it does have enough content, and people often only think otherwise because they have put over 1,000 hours in, guilty as charged, and then wonder why they've run out of things to do. I think this is such a great point. There are very few games you can put that much time in without completing the actual gameplay. So yeah, I totally agree. I think there is plenty of content in New Horizons. Again, maybe the content could have been sprinkled out and given us to us little bit by bit, but yes, agreed. If you're putting that much time into a game, there's lots of content existing there. This might be too deep, but I think the Animal Crossing is bare bones / boring / abandoned bandwagon on social media gave people a different idea of what the game is actually like. The core Animal Crossing gameplay has always been there, and Animal Crossing New Horizons is not really different than any other Animal Crossing game. I think this is such a good point too, because if you remember early 2020 when this game was first released, everyone loved it. I don't think anyone early on was hopping on that bandwagon of it being boring or it being lacking of content. I think early days, a lot of people enjoyed this game. But as time progressed and as updates stopped, then I think that's where the problem came into play. But yeah, I agree with this. Okay, this next one I absolutely love. Animal Crossing isn't always a calm game. I always get to a stressed out point during the game due to things like choosing where to plot houses and doing construction always stresses me out. You know what? If you haven't been stressed out while terraforming, I don't know if we're playing the same game. I thought this was so funny because too often Animal Crossing is such like a cozy therapeutic game, but it's true, there are some things that are so stressful and annoying, like, I don't know, paying off your mortgage and loans, catching a sea bass for the millionth time. So I love that. You know, we always hear that Animal Crossing is so soothing, but yeah, no, it can be stressful as hell. The museum should keep the tent forever and build a secondary museum building. This one I don't know if I necessarily agree with. I do like the aesthetic of the tent, of course, I think a lot of people do, but what I would rather have is just the ability to customize the exterior of those amenities and other buildings like Nook's Cranny, Able Sisters, even the tent, our campsite tent. It would be nice to be able to change those exteriors like we can do with now our villager homes if you have the Happy Home Paradise DLC. I think that could be fun. Toss the personality system. It holds Animal Crossing back. I'd love to have villagers that like fashion and sports. I'd take a grumpy Dobie who dreams of being a pop star. We all know the dialogue is now garbage. We only have this archaic type system to thank for that. Yeah, this is an interesting one because I know there's a lot of lore with the villager personalities because of previous titles, but I do agree that it's the personality system system that makes the dialogue pretty predictable and uninteresting. And I also wish that the personality traits weren't defined on the gender of the villager. Like, I want a peppy boy cub or a jock girl duck. I wouldn't be surprised if that was introduced in the next iteration of Animal Crossing. So I don't know. I mean, time will only tell, but I think you're right in the fact that it's a little archaic and antiquated at this point, having the same personality with the same villager and the same dialogue. Yeah, I agree. I don't know about tossing the personality system entirely, but what is in the existing framework, I think could absolutely be altered and be made way more cool. Worst Animal Crossing season is summer, simply due to the amount of bugs that show up. This hurts my soul because summer is actually my favorite season in Animal Crossing. So yeah, I find this very unpopular. But also, wouldn't you like when bugs show up because you can complete your museum faster? I don't know. Respectfully disagree. Animal Crossing is more fun when you don't have the entire island decorated. As someone who has only finished one island and has been working on the second for approximately a year and a half, I feel forced to agree with this. But I am pro renovation, if you will. If you have a completed island and you find yourself getting bored, well, just renovate small parts. You don't have to restart or flatten your whole thing. Change it up depending on the season. I think that's always a really fun way to go about it. Time traveling is cheating. Sorry, not sorry. Technically, I guess. I mean, if it were cheating to the extent where Nintendo said, like, no, you can't do this is cheating, like hacking a Switch, then I'm sure they would find a way to navigate around that within the actual game structure. I personally feel like anyone should play the game however they see fit. I'm definitely a time traveler. If there's a villager on my island I do not want, I will time travel and kick their butts out. Does it take away the essence of the gameplay? Absolutely. But because this is like a bit more of a sandboxy type of game, then I think it should be truly played however the user sees fit. So time traveling or not. Similarly, this game is more fun if you don't time travel and you grind for everything. Yeah, if you want the true essence of Animal Crossing New Horizons, then you would work for every single bell. You would work for every single piece of fruit. And that is the fun part of playing games. It's that rewarding feeling that you get whenever you complete something difficult. Without, of course, cheating. I could live without the gyroids. When they were first announced, I thought they were cute, but they got old so fast and took up too much space in my storage. I would just sell them whenever I dug them up. Valid point, valid point. I mean, I feel that way about fossils now. I have to say, I really, really like the gyroids, especially when they're incorporated into designs on people's islands or displayed in houses, but it is frustrating when things constantly spawn, like the gyroids, like the fossils, like the tree branches. Oh, so annoying. But again, that's a part of the gameplay, is going around and quote unquote doing your dailies. But I get it, there are certain things that annoy everyone in this game, but I do like the gyroids, I do. I think Treasure Islands destroyed game longevity. This one really had me thinking, because to an extent I understand this sentiment, but I don't know if it was Treasure Island specifically that destroyed the game's longevity. I think it was having one massive update and then a statement that literally says there are no more significant updates. I think that statement from Nintendo and just the complete neutering of any new content, that's what's destroyed the game's longevity. I don't know if it's Treasure Islands that necessarily did that, because with Treasure Islands, people are still continuing to build extravagant islands and get very creative, just at a quicker pace. So although I understand what you're saying, I respectfully disagree. This one's fun. Animal Crossing New Horizons music kinda sucks. No offense, but, well, no offense taken, because I'm not the composer of the Animal Crossing New Horizons soundtrack. Go back and listen to the older game soundtracks. They were so soothing and relaxing. This one makes me on edge. It does make me giggle a little bit that this music makes someone on edge. I personally love the music. I think it's so sweet. Everyone, of course, is going to have different opinions whenever it comes to any soundtrack, any type of music. But saying the soundtrack puts you on edge, I think that's an interesting take. But you're not alone. In fact, someone said, unpopular opinion number 1, because there are 2, there should be a way to choose what song to play on your island, because some are good and most are annoying. I mean, can't you kind of circumnavigate that by putting a stereo on your island and then putting your favorite KK song on there? But yeah, I think that is an unpopular opinion. At least I disagree with it. I like having the hourly schedule of different music, and I like that I can't control it. It's like going to the mall and something's gonna be playing. This time of year, it's a hodgepodge of holiday music, and I can't control that, but it sets the atmosphere and I just gotta deal with it. You know, it brings that element of real life into Animal Crossing. And then the second unpopular opinion, when a villager comes knocking, you should be able to say, come back another time. I'm okay with that one. Another music hot take. The hourly music is lame compared to every other Animal Crossing game. Maybe this is a popular opinion. Maybe I'm the one in the minority here who actually likes the music. Do you like the music? Let me know in the comments. I actually really like it. But I guess if you are comparing to other games, it is quite different, so it depends on your preferences. I actually like that there are no more updates. Definitely an unpopular opinion, but I think I know where AJ is going with this one. If there are no more updates, one can assume that Nintendo is then spending their time working on the next Animal Crossing game. So if you look at that silver lining, maybe it's a good thing. But yeah, I don't know. I wish they just, sprinkled out the updates like we were saying earlier. The Koramora says it's better than New Leaf. I love seeing these opinions from other Animal Crossing content creators and people who have been playing the game for a really, really long time because they're the experts. So you heard it here first, y'all. Animal Crossing New Horizons is better than New Leaf. Koramora said so it now is law. The game is complete. People judge it based off of older games, but don't realize this is more of a design and build game. There is no real story like other games besides the journey to 3 stars. I agree. I totally agree. It is a different style of game in comparison to previous titles. This one is much more building, much more design, much more decor, much more sandboxy in that sense, where other games definitely progressed with different storylines and more gameplay. So it's complete, it's just different. So I totally see that point. Happy Home Paradise is better than actual Animal Crossing New Horizons game. Oh, that's a hot take. I think it depends on exactly what you want out of the game. So if you particularly love the designing element and you enjoy the faster pace of decorating, like being able to drop items relatively quickly or being able to grow trees just with a click of a few buttons, then yes, Happy Home Paradise is the game for you. Absolutely no question about it. Saying it's better than New Horizons in itself, that's pretty spicy. Because with Happy Home Paradise, there's only so much you can do, but if you are purely into the aesthetics of Animal Crossing and being able to quickly build, then that I do understand. Oh, perfect segue here. Animal Crossing New Horizons is an island designing game, nothing more, nothing less. We as a community pushed it further than Nintendo planned for it, but at the end of the day, it is a complete game. Play other games if you're going through burnout. Woo. I think this is a great point, saying how we really did push Nintendo for more and more updates, again, to the point where they're really so much at once. I agree, there are so many elements of the game I still very, very much enjoy and still very, very much get excited about whenever I load it up. And while it is discouraging there won't be more updates, it's complete. We have everything that we asked for and even more. Nintendo gave us almost everything we whined for, like I just said, and people still weren't satisfied. I'm perfectly happy with vanilla Animal Crossing New Horizons. There's plenty to keep me entertained. It was really discouraging early on once they did announce that there would be no more updates, but then I realized, I don't go see Katrina all that often. I don't go see Reese and Cyrus all that often. I haven't been on a cat and boat tour in probably a month or 2. I still haven't finished my museum, so yes, I still have plenty to do in this game. And of course, with the addition of Happy Home Paradise, really the options are endless, and I think people forget that. I don't need consistent updates to love and enjoy the game for a long time. I love this. I absolutely love this. And when you think about it, all the older games also are not being updated anymore, and people still very regularly play New Leaf and older titles. So yeah, you could still enjoy the game even though there aren't more updates. I actually made a video on how to make Animal Crossing more fun without using mods or treasure islands or anything like that. I'll put it on the little info card, whatever the YouTube thing is, if you want to check that out. So yeah, plenty of ways to keep the game fun and fresh. And now we're about to get into some NPC and villager unpopular opinions. Listen, some of these I just think you're lying. I'm convinced that some of you are trolling me with these opinions. But anyway, here we go. Zipper is cool. I collect art toys, and if there was a physical version of the wobbly toy, I'd fight the one person there to buy it, haha. Listen, Zipper has a very specific aesthetic, that's for sure. But it's no one's job to tell you what you like and don't like. And if that intrigues you and you like it, then by all means, more power to you. But I find him terrifying. I absolutely hate KK. What did KK ever do to you? What did he do? Did you date a musician and they hurt you? Is that why you hate KK? I mean, I can relate, but I love KK, I do. Not all of his songs, but as an NPC, he's a good egg. I love Wisp. He gets so much hate because of the gifts he gives, but he's so cute. You know what? I don't even dislike Wisp because of the gifts that he gives. I only find him annoying at most. There are definitely worse NPCs in my opinion, CJ. But yeah, I guess I'm neither here nor there with Wisp. I do find him a little bit annoying, but it's nice to see that someone finds him super cute, so shout out to Wisp. I don't really like Isabel. You know, Isabel's an interesting one because she is sweet, she is girl boss, but I guess out of some of the NPCs, she is like a little bit vanilla. But saying you don't like her? Yeah, I definitely would warrant that as an unpopular opinion. Zipper is the best NPC. Okay, yeah, y'all are trolling at this point. The best NPC? The best. Isn't Leaf the best NPC? I mean, how else would you get your crops or your shrubs or any of that? Or make hybrids with your come on, Leaf is the best. Zipper? You think Zipper is the best NPC? He shows up once a year, he's scary. You end up catching eggs instead of fish when you go fishing. I don't know, I think y'all are trolling me. Zipper's the best NPC. I mean, yeah, that's an unpopular opinion, I'll say that much. I love Bunny Day and Rodney. Okay, well note, they didn't say Zipper, they said Bunny Day. I think they think there's a difference. Pastels are amazing, and my boy Rodney gave me a beautiful plant. That's kind of sweet. He deserves better. It's funny how attached we get to our villagers because of things that they do in the game. It's really funny. But yeah, Bunny Day as a holiday, I think is fine. It's just Zipper. That poor, terrifying thing. And Rodney, I gotta say, not my personal favorite, but I'm glad he is someone's favorite. You know, they all deserve to be loved by someone. The Crossing Channel says the villagers are better in New Horizons than they were in New Leaf. And then Ben messaged me because he wanted to expand on what he was saying. The villagers are better in New Horizons than they were in New Leaf. Some things like hide and seek are gone, sure. But villagers in New Leaf were basically robots that wandered around aimlessly around the island. Now, in New Horizons, they run, sing, investigate flowers, sweep up, and they have pretty much the same amount of dialogue too. They were at their very best in the original though, by far. I do wish, since we were talking about updates earlier, that the only update I wish they would continuously give would be some dialogue changes, or at least additions in some capacity, whether it be with the player themselves or with each other when you see the villagers interacting. But I like this take because I like the villagers too, Ben. Beardo is the man. I don't hate on Beardo. I am a Beardo fan. I know a lot of people don't like Beardo, but I find him very posh, very sophisticated in a way. Yeah, I find him silly and fun, you know? But I know Beardo gets a lot of hate, so I'm glad to see that you're a fan of his. The gorillas in New Horizons are actually pretty cute, and they get targeted for hate by people that like to throw shade and need an easy target. And a lot of complaints against them are very arbitrary. Mary doesn't wear pants either, guys. I guess people hate that the gorillas don't usually wear pants. Aren't there a lot of villagers that don't wear pants? Does Bo wear? Yeah, Bo doesn't wear pants. Bo, Animal Crossing, New Horizons. Yeah, Bo doesn't wear pants either. Okay, well, whoever's using the no pants argument, stop that. A lot of the villagers don't wear pants. I think some of the gorillas are cute. I, in fact, quite like a handful of them, and I don't think that they're the worst villager species. I think the lions were the biggest missed opportunity there because they're not good. I'm also not particularly a fan of the anteaters. Maybe the gorillas do get a lot of hate. Like, I know Rilla does, I know Rocket does, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe a lot more people dislike the gorillas than I thought, but I'm glad you think they're cute. I love the kangaroos, especially the female ones with their little joeys in their pouch. My favorite is Astrid. This makes me smile because whenever I first got Animal Crossing New Horizons, the first villager I ever wanted was a kangaroo, and I think it was Matilda. I don't remember for sure, but similarly, I really wanted a kangaroo because it was like a 2-for-1. You get two villagers. You get the joey and you get the mom. But over time, yeah, they're definitely less popular than like the cats or the bunnies or the deer. So I'm happy to see some kangaroo love. I like Barreled. You might be alone in that sentiment. I'm just kidding. I know a lot of people do like Barreled. Not my favorite. Again, not my least favorite, but I would imagine that you're in the minority there, liking Barreled. I could be wrong though. Let me know in the comments if you're a Barreled stan. Reason Cyrus should break up. You know, for the plot. Lex, oh my gosh, I love Lex Play. Another YouTuber, Animal Crossing YouTuber. We got all the famous people here today, y'all. I love this so much. Why not just make Animal Crossing like a Real Housewives reality dramatic show? I'm here for it. You know what? I think this is great. Reese and Cyrus get a divorce. Instead of wedding season, let's just have divorce season. Like instead of the wedding day items, you would get like attorney fees, maybe like custody over like a bird in a cage or some kind of pet. Yeah, I think that's funny. Brewster is pointless. Where's the lie though? It's so funny. We were begging, Nintendo, we just want this bird, please bestow upon us the pigeon god that is Brewster. And then we got Brewster and like, he doesn't do anything. I understand in previous titles you could like work for him. You would talk about his affinity for gyroids and all that good stuff. But yeah, no, like there's like really no point to having him in New Horizons. The roost is very cozy and like I do love going in there whenever I have friends visit my island, so that part I enjoy. But the roost and the building and the coffee shop itself has very little to do with Brewster. Like, yeah, he gives you coffee and you can dig up trees and stuff when you drink it. But yeah, no, Brewster is pretty pointless. It's so sad, but so true. Even if we were able to like grow a coffee bean plant and maybe we could get those seeds from Brewster. Or again, like if we could work at the roost, that would be so cool. We can have multiple jobs. Yeah, we'll go work on Happy Home Paradise, but also like I want to be a barista. Anyway, that one, I know so many people will hate that one, but like, where's the lie? The most underrated villager is definitely Sky, 100% top tier villager and doesn't get enough love. I do think Sky is super cute, and because she is designed in a very specific way, I assume too that she would be higher on the list, especially for the wolves. So yeah, I don't know why Sky doesn't get enough love. She's really cute. She kind of fits along the same lines as like Meringue or Pia, where they have a very, very specific aesthetic. Obviously Sky's is it's the Sky. Yeah, I like Sky, and I would agree that she's underrated. Rocket is not that bad. People are just dramatic. I think Rocket is one of my favorite gorilla villagers. Rocket and Boone. I can't remember any other ones, so they must be irrelevant. Yeah, I like those two. Rocket is fierce. Look at her. Like, if you had trouble, she would take care of whoever is causing the trouble. And, you know, we have to appreciate those villagers, right? I don't think Etoile is very cute. You know, a lot of the Sanrio villagers I don't particularly like, but I'm just not a fan of, like, the pastels. But I do have a feeling some people will strongly disagree with you there. The mice aren't that bad. I personally love them, especially Penelope. You know what mouse I like? Bettina. I remember I didn't even know who Bettina was until I made a specific video that she appeared in. I think some of the mice designs could be drastically improved upon, but some of them are pretty cute. Granted, I say that and I've literally never had a mouse on my island, so maybe I am a hater, I don't know. Judy is actually the worst villager. That is a pretty hot take. The worst. The worst? The worst. Everyone has their favorite villager, and I'm pretty sure most of us have a least favorite villager. Hex, I will never forget what you did to me. Colton, you can back off too. But Judy, I mean, if you don't like the snooty personality, or maybe you don't like her color scheme, then I can see why this would be warranted, but the worst villager? What did Judy do to you? And then of course, rounding out this whole villager section, I think is just the perfect ending. Haleen says, I hate villager tiering. You like who you like. And I couldn't agree more. I always enjoy seeing who is the most popular villager, who is the least popular villager for the time being. And I love knowing those opinions from other people, but along the same vein, you like who you like. I know my favorite villager is not everyone's favorite villager. Some people don't like him. And then I know my least favorite villager, a lot of people really treasure. I agree. You like who you like. Your villager should be very special to you and for whatever reason they're special to you. And I think that's a great way to end out this little villager section. Wow. Okay. Well, this was very interesting. I have to say, while I disagreed with a good handful of the unpopular opinions in this video, I found myself also agreeing with a lot of them. I feel the game is relatively complete, yes, especially when you take into consideration the amount of hours people spend in this one title alone. And I also think the perspective of, okay, there are no more updates, but potentially that means that they're working on the next title. That's pretty exciting. Please let me know in the comments, which of these did you agree with? Which did you strongly disagree with? Or if there weren't any mentioned and you have a specific unpopular opinion, let me know what that is. I had so much fun reading all of your comments. I would love to make a second version of this video. So put your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this style of video, make sure to subscribe to my channel. This month, I'm actually putting out a video every single day. So if you want to check out my version of like Vlogmas or Animal Crossmas or Katie on Content Covemas, well, it's happening. It's a lot. With that said, you guys, I hope you are having an amazing day and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.